Hey everyone, I'm here at the Stephen Sondheim Theater stage door, and I'm going to take you in the theater, give you a tour of the pit where the band plays and all the technology that goes behind that and all the setups we got going on for everybody. So let's go check it out. So here we are in the pit, and I'm gonna walk you through the setup that we have going on here. This is my setup here on guitar 3. We all have a plethora of doubles, very similar kind of double setup on this one. Ryan here on guitar 1 and Larry have a steel acoustic, which I do not. We all have a nylon string for the big flamenco number in the show. I'm the only one who has a banjo. Tellies, and both Larry and I have strats, and so we all got kind of like some crossover here. We are using Kempers on this show, which I programmed all the patches that you'll hear for that, so for all 3 of us. And then for all the acoustic stuff, we have DIs going into these Avalons for each acoustic. So one will be steel, one will be nylon. In conjunction with that, we all have a microphone for our acoustics that we will use when we do those songs. All the electric stuff, I think we all have been doing the setup where we have one cable that goes into the electric that goes to the Kemper. So, you know, we just volume off or turn a tuner pedal on or whatever when we switch, and have the cable in for that. Here's Larry's setup. The tuner pedals are running to the Avalon DIs for his acoustics, which are right there under his chair. Les Paul, 2 tellies, one sort of functioning as a arch top and strat. And then this is my setup here in the corner next to the drum booth with Rodney in there. So here's my Kemper. I've taped over all the stomps, so the way I programmed it is that you don't use these at all, and anything that needs to be turned on in the part will just be automatically turned on behind the scenes by switching any of the number buttons. So when we have someone come in to fill in for us, there will be fewer things that can go wrong. And as you can see here, as I switch from, or if I switch from 2 to 1, you see that this drive pedal here is getting turned on and off. Over here is my mute switch for the microphone right here, which I'll swing over when it's time to play some nylon, and then I'll swing it away when I don't need it anymore and turn it back off. And at the same time, I have to unmute the DI that goes to my Avalon, which is under my seat right here. A weird thing, I know I could use the tuner that's on the Kemper to mute and tune, but for some reason I like having this Korg pitch black externally to mute my signal from my electrics, but also tune, because tuning is good. Right above the Kemper, I have just a shelf which is currently super messy with garbage, but I've got this kit for fixing nails on my right hand for playing the flamenco stuff if I break a nail. Oh, I broke a nail. Little Leatherman for fixing I don't know, things wrong with guitars. I got extra in-ears, other cables. I got a capo just in case I end up needing one, string winder. I got extra strings on this little shelf that the props department made for me right here. I have contact cleaner at the ready. Some of the switches on the Kempers will actually crap out. This one is clean right now because I'm sort of in charge of tending to those or the other guy's Kempers, but sometimes the switches will fail, and then I'll have to either open them up or I can squeeze some contact cleaner through into the inner workings of the Kemper there so that I can get this switch working again. So WD-40, which I was using on one of my tuners, so every man should have some WD-40 nearby. More crap will find its way onto that shelf as we go. Got a little shelf here, just that kind of clips onto my music stand, pencils for writing in notes, and just a big pile of Jazz 3 picks.
This little pick thing right here was like the best thing to happen to my playing.
So I think the most ingenious thing I need to show you about my setup here, I have this wall behind me and these rails that they mount things on in the theater when they need to. So to keep my cables clean, I actually taped some Velcro to my 1/4 inch here from Tsunami Cables. Nice blue cable here, custom made. I recommend checking out Tsunami Cables. And between songs, I just put it on the rail right here, and so that keeps it out of the way. So on this show, since I'm right next to the drum booth right here, there's a lot of bleed from that. I would usually play with cans, as we call them, these headphones. So I find it necessary to run some molded in-ears. On my guitar stand here, I've got an SG, which is just a 2020 like stock Gibson SG, and I had a bone nut put on it by Evan Gluck, guitar tech here in Manhattan. This is a 2000 ES335 from Gibson, all black. It's been plecked. I actually got it from one of the current members of Queensryche, if you're a fan of Queensryche. Strat, this is a deluxe Fender Strat. Don't know what year this is. I want to say it's 2014 or something. My Telecaster, it's got a hip shot B bender and G lever and D lever on there, so sometimes I derp around with it. Nothing crazy valuable or vintage on my rack here. This is my nylon string. I've done a very professional fix here for a crack that I've had actually professionally fixed 3 times. So I just cover that up with tape. And then this one. This is my banjo that I got for free from Bobby Coble. Shout out to Bobby. I don't think either of us thought it would get so much use professionally, but here it is being used on Mrs. Doubtfire. I also don't know if you can see, but I Velcroed my nylon cable to the guitar stand here, just on the metal part of the stand. It just sort of lives back here in this dark corner. Gotta have the cup holder here. For those of you who don't know, you'll have a little video monitor right above clipped on your music stand. And this is a live feed of the conductor sitting on the pedestal right up there. And it's a good thing that we have this on the show, because I can't see our conductor Matt, who's just sort of around the drum booth here, but I can't see him over there. So I need the video monitor to get cues for going out of vamps and safeties, and I wouldn't be able to see him if it wasn't for the video monitor. And once again, we all have those. Larry's got one on his stand there, Brian, everybody. So that's a very important part of making the show work with everybody. Right in front of me is Pete on bass, his setup. P-Bass, which is a sort of a parts caster that he actually lent me, which you'll recognize if you saw my Rite of Spring arrangement. Got a Music Man 5-string for some of the rock stuff. Then his stand-up is here, leaning against the wall. Nothing special for pedals or anything there. This little station here is for watchers. So when we have someone learn the show to come and sub, they sit here. From the bass setup, right here is this little aluminum ladder that brings us up to the conductor pedestal. We've got an upper keyboard that does a lot of synth bass and organ stuff for Matt. Click track advancement here, so he can control with this keyboard and go through the different click tracks that we play to in the show. Obviously his piano vocal score for playing through, and this is his main piano here, which is really just controlling the main stage patches. Down here on the floor, we've got volume pedal. This is to turn on a Leslie, I guess, since it's labeled. So once again, that would be for the upper keyboard. Would turn on the Leslie rotating speaker for that. This pedal is for the Q Labs to, I guess, probably start the click. Since I don't do this, I don't know for sure. It's the same pedal. This is his patch advance for main stage. And then this is his microphone unmute, so he's talking to us with a microphone that's actually on his headset with that little pedal there. Matt also has some video feeds over here of the other people around in the building. We can see everybody doing their job there if we need to. The keyboards both get, they all get run through here. which sort of mix all the main stage computers and everything. The main stage computers are closed right now, but all the patches come out of those. Up here is the camera that everybody sees Matt on. That's me waving. So there are 2 video monitors out there in the house that everybody can see on stage. Here in our beautiful Stephen Sondheim Theater. Up here we have the set. Matt can see and cue all the singers and dancers up here. And then we can receive cues from them and then give us cues from here to the rest of us through the camera. Here we are on the other side of the pit with key 2. Once again, we've got 2 main stage computers. One is a main, one's a backup. And Alana has the same sort of setup with a patch advance pedal and a volume pedal. And then those get fed into her little mixer rack here, just like Matt's up on the pedestal. And there's a button, as you can see in my older video, there's an A-B button right here. You press that to go to the alternate. So this is what she was on, and then you go to A if something's wrong with one of the other computers. Then the horn section, we've got trombone with the beautiful U87 again, and then trumpet with U87. And then from the horns, there's the drum booth. Rodney's all set up in here with my favorite China cymbal.
China, 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 China.
So now why don't we go see the percussion booth, which is all the way in the depths of the theater. This little makeshift structure is the percussion booth, and it's completely separate from the pit by quite a ways. It's super warm in here, which is nice in the winter time, but you can see all the noise makers. One thing I love that he told me about is for Make Me a Woman, the disco tune we had to play, Larry has to tune one of these congas to a C sharp, I believe, which is the key that the song is in. But then after we play that tune, he actually tunes the head to whatever the next key of the next song that he has to play the congas on, and he does that every show. And I just love that attention to detail. We've got some tambourine action, some maracas for some of the flamenco stuff, cymbals for crashes, swells, cowbell, which is very important because, as we all know,
I gotta have more cowbell.
Mini drum set up with toms and snare. Vibes, very important. There's some pretty sweet kind of jazzy moments of the show. And some of these things you need doubles for because you won't be able, if you're playing something over here, you can't necessarily reach all the way over to one of these tambourines. So KM 184s above the vibes. Got a mark tree, some more percussion elements over here. Cabasa, another one here. Some cortales, which I love the sound of cortales. Marimba, we got a Glock. On the floor we got a little foot tambourine for when you need to do other stuff with your hands, which is important. Now this all gets fed through the mic tie line, fed to the front of house and then into our aviom. So we hear Bill, even though he's so far away from us, not in the pit with us, but somehow it works that way where we're completely separated, but we can all play together. And in here is the string room. We've got a string quartet, 2 violins, 1 viola and 1 cello. They all have a close mic. They also have clip-on mics, one sitting there. I also have this XY mic pattern with these Neumann mics that sort of pick up the ambient room sound, gives like a fuller sound. They also have a feed of the stage, which is kind of nice. So I know it's nothing right now, but that would be an actual show feed so they can watch the show, which I can't. Talkback mic here to communicate any problems in this room to the pit so we can hear them. They have a little switch on the floor right here. If they press that, now the mics are on. Press it again, now it's off. But yeah, this is the string room in here. They got a nice little cozy setup. Hey everyone, so that concludes the pit tour of Mrs. Doubtfire on Broadway. Unfortunately, Mrs. Doubtfire is not running anymore, which sucks, but we're making the best of it. So if you liked it, please subscribe. If you hated it and thought it was stupid, let me know in the comments. Either way, I'll see you in the next video.